tired. We're here with Tracey Mallett and Annie Gibbons, Donuts and Pie Fitness. I'm Gretchen Zellick, and we're so happy to be talking to Tracey today. She is a world-renowned fitness and wellness expert. She's a best-selling author. She's the creator of hugely popular workouts online and in person, BootyBarre and BBarreless. She recently launched PilatesBarre on Demand, which I can't wait to try. She's an innovator in the Pilates and fitness industry. She's been a fitness professional for over 25 years. She's appeared in dozens of yay! She appeared in dozens of publications, including Prevention, Shape, Fitness Magazine, Women's Health, LA Times, Pilates Style, Self. I mean, you name it, she's been in it. She regularly appears on television shows as kind of the go-to Pilates and fitness expert. She's been on Good Morning New York, Style Network, E! Entertainment. She even was, she's been on Ellen, which is remarkable. And she's even appeared on Ellen with First Lady Michelle Obama. And what they did was, it was a part of a children's program, school program, Let's Move campaign. As well as fitness, Tracey knows health. She knows about what a positive mindset can do for your body, your health. And there's a helicopter going overhead right now. Nothing like LA helicopters. But a few years ago, on a serious note, she was diagnosed with a brain tumor that would change her life. Thankfully, the tumor was not malignant, and it was able to be surgically removed. She credits great doctors. I know her mindset, positive attitude, her family and her friends for helping her get through this and recover relatively quickly. She is originally from England, and she now lives in South Pasadena, my old hometown, with her husband and her two teenage sons. So welcome, Tracey. I'm so happy that you have the time to speak with us today.
Wow. I when I was listening to you, I was like, wow, I commend you for remembering all that. I was like, wow, have I really done all that? When you reflect on your life, you're like, oh, wow, did I do that? You know, it's kind of crazy, but thank you.
Well, the best part is you're continuing to do stuff. I mean, you're just always like on the cutting edge. So you're always like adding new things to your repertoire for your audience and for your clients. So my question is, you started out as a dancer, I believe, like very young, and it kind of everything kind of worked its way into what you're doing now. It's always been your passion. Is that what led you to develop your barre, Pilates, your HIIT classes, your cardio fusion, your athletic performer Pilates classes? You're an expert in so many disciplines. So first of all, is that what led you to that? And then when you exercise, what's your favorite workout?
I think sometimes like actually doing so many different things sometimes can be a hindrance actually, because people kind of don't know where to box you or put you in a different arena, if that makes sense. And because I've always been a person like, I want it all, I want to do it all, I don't want to just do one thing, that it hasn't not always been easy. It's been a little challenging through my career, because especially many years ago when I started, I mean, I was 16, I went to theater art school. My first class was a dance conditioning class. That was when I was introduced to barre and mat Pilates. Didn't know I was doing that, but obviously I fell in love with it, and it's just very bizarre. Fast forward it many years later, and that actually was the pinnacle. It was like the start of an evolution for me, because just going to that one class, it set my career, which is bizarre when you look back and you think just that one class with that one instructor. She was a Pilates ballet instructor that did barre, and she became on to be my ballet teacher when I was at college. And looking back, she was a huge inspiration for me because she put me on track. So when we look at people for inspiration, I think back now and I think she was a huge inspiration for me, because she set my life on track to where I am right now. So when we look at people, that one person that could actually turn your life around, really. And I admired her for that, and I was like, I want to be that person. I want to be able to be that person that changes someone's life. And I know that I have done that, and so I feel like I've been on my mission. And but I still continue because it's what I love to do. But yeah, I was 16. That's when I was introduced to Pilates, mat Pilates and barre. And then I went in to teach dance fitness because I was dancing in London doing theatre arts, and I needed to make some money, of course. So I taught a lot of fitness classes, always fused different things, which was not the norm then. In the 90s, it wasn't the norm to fuse things together, but I've always done it. I just love it. But I also love the classical part of it too. I'm a big, lover of Pilates. I think it's amazing in the method as itself, but I also like to fuse it too. But I appreciate both parts. But when I was younger, that was not accepted. It wasn't until I think it was 96, and I auditioned for the Fox TV, The Method Show, and it was the first time they put Pilates actually on a video. I mean, this is a VHS video, and this is the first time they put Pilates on a video, which was with Jennifer Crease. There was myself, there was Lisa Wheeler, who is now head of Apple Fitness TV. I mean, she's an amazing, badass lady, Lisa Wheeler. I give her a shout out there. And there was us three, and we got this job, and I was young. I was 25, I think. Anyway, I was 26, and it was my first break. I auditioned for it, got this job, and we fused things together. I was the fuse girl. I did the cardio boot camp or Pilates and ballet, and I'm like, wow, this is weird. So a lot of people accepted it, and there's a lot of people like, wow, why is she moving ballet with Pilates? She shouldn't be doing that. And I'm like, well, why not? I'm not calling it Pilates. I'm just calling it fusion. I understand I can do both, but so I was always up against that. But it wasn't recently. I'm going to fast forward a little bit because I could talk forever. But fast forward a little bit to how our BootyBarre came about was basically I've been at the bar since I've been 3. Like I said, 16, I was doing more like a Lottie Burke type because my ballet teacher was a Lottie Burke. So I've always been at the bar. And so I was writing a book. I was doing, I did Sexy and Six. It was interval workouts, and I did Super Fit Mama. And the lady, Michelle Bender, who was helping me with the book, she said, just been to this great class. It's a bar class in New York. She said, this is identical to what you do. Why don't you do this bar program? And I'm like, well, I've been doing that all my life, She said, you should do it. I was like, okay. So the next video I did, I was like, what goes really well with bar? And I'm thinking, how about BootyBarre? I mean, doesn't that sound fun? It's kind of sexy. So it's like, well, I hate to say it, but sex does sell. And I'm like, it's a little bit risque. But I mean, remember, that was 12 years ago. And booty wasn't used then, booty, we didn't use it. And so I was like, am I picking the wrong brand here? And I'm like, no. And I went with it, and I'm so glad I did. I trademarked the name, of course. And I pushed the envelope a little bit, and that's kind of how BootyBarre, really started, really. And it was really, because I know you appreciate this, it was really started out the Pilates community because it was 2009. The economy had crashed. People were having problems with their studios, right? We I don't know if you remember 2009, it was a big crash. I know that we nearly lost our business. It was really bad. And so I was like, I released my BootyBarre total body video, and it was for consumers. People came to me and said, instructors that I had trained in Bassi Pilates, because I was a former Bassi faculty with Rayali Zakowicz, said, hey, can we put this BootyBarre into our studio? I said, yeah, let's just go with it, get the video and mimic it and do it. Well, can we do a training? That's how I started the training, did that first training, and they put it into their little Pilates studios, and it was a great way of adding something to a Pilates studio that didn't take away from Pilates. It added to it. It was less expensive than doing a private class. They could get more people in. It kind of helped them get over the hump of that downward economy. And the reason I talk about this is that's kind of how it spiraled. Then people liked it. Then fast forward it to COVID, okay? I mean, 8,000 instructors later. But let's fast forward it, because we could talk for days about it. Let's fast forward to COVID. And the reason I talk about COVID now is because I built the company at a downward economy. We're back into a downward economy because of COVID. Yet I've had all these amazing instructors come to me. I'm so honored to be able to help them give them something that they can actually teach on Zoom that has everything, has flexibility, has cardio, has muscle conditioning, has all of it, and being able to teach them and be able to present it on Zoom or whoever they deliver in their classes, or even outside, you know, and they've been able to do this class. So helping them get over this downward economy too. So it's been really weird to see all these different phases. And that's why I talk about it now, because we've had so many people like come to us now and, you know, wanting a training so that they can add a different program to make, obviously, inspire people. But obviously the bottom line is they've got to live too, and families. So it's just been an amazing roller coaster. And answering your question, what is my favorite workout? That's a hard one. I think I like all of it. Of course, I love Pilates. And in this last year, I've taught a lot more Pilates than what I would ever normally do as far as doing it personally with the people on Zoom. I mean, I'm sure you guys have been teaching a lot too. So I felt like I was in better shape because I was teaching on Zoom with them. So I think Pilates is my number one favorite exercise. But obviously when I do Pilates, I'm a little bit more athletic, because I do need to have the cardio aspect. For me, it's like a stress release to do cardio. But I love it all. I love spinning too. I love everything, anything that moves. And dance. Dance is a big thing. Yeah.
Okay,
there you go. The big answer.
You are clearly in love with so many modalities of exercise. So if you were going to have to just recommend like maybe 3 modalities or 3 kinds of exercise for people over 50, what would those be?
Hands down, of course, it would be Pilates.
Yeah.
Because Pilates can be done. I have, you know, young kids all the way up into their 80s and 90s. And we use it for rehab here. I have a physical therapy clinic here, so we use it for rehab. So the benefits of Pilates is that one exercise program that I feel is for everybody, because usually it's done obviously in a small group or one-on-one, so it's a little bit more catered to that person. Of course, I love yoga too, but usually it's in a more of a group setting. So my advice would be definitely Pilates, absolutely. Definitely weight training to a certain extent. Obviously, resistance training, you can get that in Pilates too. You can do resistance training in Pilates. But I do think as we age, definitely need to add more strength training, obviously because of bone density. I'm not a big lover of weight training personally, but I do it because I have to do it. It's not that I think it's bad. It's just that I don't really enjoy doing it, but I force myself to do it because I know my body needs it. So definitely Pilates, weight training, and obviously the last one is active flexibility with cardio. And I say that because people think of cardio as a chore, and it really doesn't need to be. Sure, I mean, I think walking is underestimated, and I do more walking now than ever, and I can stay in shape. But walking, big range of motion, using your upper body, your legs, that is so great for active range of motion too. So I think that flexibility of walking is the best. I mean, I can even go into hip mobility.
That's a really good point, because I think that one of the reasons that people, as they are aging, cut back because they think, well, if I can't run, and what's the sense? And really, the best cardio is the one you'll do, and they're all effective as long as you do them enthusiastically. You know, just do them.
Well, I think so. I think, you know, and I've been one of them, and that's why I talk about it quite passionately about walking, because I used to like, well, that's not going to do anything.
Right.
But I think as I've aged, I realize how walking is so good for you. I mean, especially if you can have some hills and you can walk up the hills and get a little bit more hiking. I appreciate hiking more. I mean, I'm in a great area to go hiking. I do that a lot with friends, which has been a nice way of socializing with COVID, where we can go outside and go hiking, you know. So don't underestimate walking at all, as long as you're consistent with it.
Right. Now, so we asked this of everybody, and so I think that you've already kind of touched on it because you're very enthusiastic just in talking about your passions. But what would your prescription be for aging enthusiastically?
Yeah, my prescription would be and this would be for any age, but definitely you've got to find something that you really, really love to do. And I know that's hard because some people just don't like to move. But once you start moving, you do develop a passion because you realize how good you feel. And as we age, we are really exercising mostly for function. mostly for a better living, for a better life, to not get injured. So it's a different focus in why we're moving. So maybe we appreciate a little bit more that exercise is not a chore. Exercise is something that's going to make us feel good, to be able to function, to live longer and not get injured. Because if we're sitting dormant, then we're going to get injured. So the prescription would be, find something that you enjoy, which possibly is walking, possibly going out in the great outdoors, and focusing on that mental capacity, to that mental, your mind over your body. I think that's the biggest obstacle, right, is our mind telling us that, oh, we don't want to do it, we can't. Yeah. But once you do it, you do it. So yeah, find something that you really love, and it's probably right there in front of you, which is walking. I think walking is great. I really do. Hiking, definitely.
It's really Absolutely. True. Any day that you can move is a gift. You know, if you're walking, yeah, Pilates, spinning, whatever, we're lucky to be able to do it. So we should take advantage of it. I agree with you on that. And I have to tell you, I just want to tell you really quickly, I was going to tell you after, your physical therapy, you know, your business is phenomenal. My kids have all been worked on there due to
oh, really?
different, yeah, phenomenal, just phenomenal. In South Pasadena.
Well,
so
a lot of people don't realize is that, yeah, like my husband's a doctor of rehab. So we've been here 22 years now. So I've had a Pilates studio and then rehab. In fact, actually, I don't know if you know this, but we were the second physical therapy clinic in LA that did Pilates. We were the second. I think the other one is a performing arts one, but we were the second one. And now, obviously, Pilates is used very, you know, in a lot of physical therapy clinics, but we truly do. And my husband's BASI certified with Riley Zakowicz. We've gone through the training, all our PTs went through the training, and it works. I mean, and that's kind of how we started our business. It was very unique 20 odd years ago, and that's how we were able to open up an outpatient clinic. And now, because we've been in South Pasadena for so many years, reputation obviously precedes us. And so, I mean, it's been challenging the past year with COVID, because even though we're essential, we had to close down. And so it's been challenging, but like, I feel fortunate that we have a good community behind us that have supported us. And we're actually very busy now because everybody's back out, moving. So yeah, we're very busy right now. A lot of young athletes coming in who get injured because they haven't been doing anything for a year, including my son who just broke his finger last week. So that was great. And then also people that have been doing more gardening. People have been out doing more gardening. Isn't that bizarre? And doing more DIY things. And so they need us more than anything now. They need us to keep us strong so they can do their gardening and the DIY things. So it's been very interesting. It really has. But thank you for that. I appreciate it.
No, it's fabulous. I know firsthand. So Tracey, thank you so much for speaking with us today. If people want to find you, you're on Instagram at Tracey Mallett, at BootyBarre, at BBarreless. Your new app subscription is www.PilatesBarreonDemand.com. So everybody should check that out. Your website is TraceyMallett.com, and I will make sure we post all that when we put up this interview, and just want to tell you how much we appreciate you. This is just fabulous. Thank you.
Yeah, Tracey, thank you so much.
I want to thank you guys for realizing that we all can age very gracefully if we take time to, you know, look after ourselves, like physically, emotionally, mentally, and it all comes together. Exercise is a huge umbrella for that. You guys know that because that's what you practice and that's what you preach. And I appreciate you doing this because exercise doesn't stop when you get to your 40s, your 50s or 60s. It should continue right the way through till the end. I mean, seriously, absolutely.
Yeah.
People ask, so that should be the message to longevity, right? Exercise. Yes. There you go.
Exactly. Thank you so much. And I'm sure I'll run into you in South Pass, I hope. See you later.
Thank you, Tracey.
Bye-bye. Thanks.
Thank you.